Today I want to talk about FOIA requests, okay? Now I know many of you probably know what a FOIA is. You've probably done one in your case. Your attorney did one for you. Maybe you did it yourself. But I think most people have probably just heard the term in the immigration context, FOIA request, but they don't actually really understand what it means. Most importantly, it's important to know the different kinds of FOIAs, okay? So a little bit background, just generally speaking, a FOIA request stands for the Freedom of Information Act request, okay? Here in the United States, we have a federal law that allows us to make requests of the government for documentation. If you wanted to see the budget in your state, what they're spending their money on, you can make a Freedom of Information Act request, okay? So just to be clear, FOIA is not a law that's specific to immigration. But in the immigration context, like a lot of other, fields of law, we use FOIA requests a lot, okay? In fact, journalists use FOIA requests a lot as well. When they're doing their research, they make FOIA requests of different government agencies to get their information. In immigration, we use FOIA requests to look into your background as we need it, okay? So I want to talk now about the most common types of FOIAs that are used to help your immigration case out. Now, these are not the only kinds, okay? There are many other specific things you might need. I'm only talking about the ones that we commonly encounter in the immigration context, at least specifically the kind of immigration law that we handle, okay? So the first one is, before I jump into this, I want to say why it's important to know the different kinds. A lot of people come and consult with me about their cases and they say, oh, I don't need a FOIA. I already did one with my other lawyer. Or they say something like, oh, my case is clean. I did a FOIA, nothing showed up. Okay. And then when they show me the FOIA, it's not the right kind, meaning you think your case is clean or nothing showed up, but in reality, you're asking for something that was not relevant to your case at all. Okay. So FOIA number one I want to talk about is called the OBIM FOIA, OBIM, Office of Biometric Identity Management. Okay. This is when we want to see someone's record from the border, okay? So if someone tells me I was detained 3 times and the second time I was detained for a week, so I'm not really sure what happened, and it sounds to me like they were possibly issued maybe an expedited removal or a deportation order at the border, that's extremely important to know, because if you had a deportation order and you crossed again after that deportation order, well, then you have the permanent bar, right? So the way to find that out is we do an OBIM FOIA. How do you know if you did this? Well, I can tell you how you can know if you didn't do this. If your lawyer did not take your fingerprints and you did not do one of these, okay? Or at least you might have done one, but it's not going to be effective because you need your fingerprints. So what we do is we physically take your fingerprints, then we send it off to the appropriate address and make a request for all records, at the border, okay? And then what the results will come back with typically a little photo and then some annotations and some codes that you need to understand